What he thought would be mud and dirt behind the wall turned out to be something entirely different. Before him, a dark and deep cave emerged. As he chipped away at the wall in the basement, the opening grew larger, revealing an unexpected sight. What he had assumed was mud and dirt was actually a chilling gust of wind rising from the darkness, sending a shiver through his bones. He soon realized he had uncovered much more than a mere cave. It was a 1,500-year-old relic. A man living in a remote village in Navashehir province, Turkey, was growing tired of his living conditions. He and his family had lived in this stone house for generations, and it was becoming too cramped for him to bear. Unable to afford skilled laborers to extend the home, he decided to do it himself. He reasoned that if he knocked down a wall in the basement, it would be a simple enough task to widen the space and create another room. However, what he didn't know was that it wasn't going to be as simple as he initially thought. Just on the other side of the wall was a secret that would make a grown man shake in his boots. The man, who wishes to remain unnamed, began his DIY project on an ordinary day. He carefully inspected the basement before deciding on the best spot to start his renovation. He made the first swing and struck the stone, pleased to see the rock start to crumble with little resistance. Easy enough, he began to chip away at the wall, pulverizing the rock into a fine powder until he'd broken through to the other side. But when his chisel seemed to hit emptiness, he was taken aback. He began to chip faster and widen the hole he had made just enough to peer inside. To his surprise, behind the wall was an empty space. Suddenly, a cool wind rose up out of the hole, and all the hairs on his arms began to prickle. He furiously got to work, chipping away until he'd made the hole big enough to enter. He had to know what lay inside. The opening was so dark that he couldn't see beyond a few inches. Mustering all his courage, he grabbed a flashlight and crawled through, disappearing into the darkness. The man was surprised to see that he entered a narrow chamber of some kind, a secret room. He shone his flashlight on the walls and floor, but it was completely empty. Then he spotted a doorway on the far side and continued to walk forward, deeper and deeper underground. Fear filled his heart as visions of snakes, scorpions, and other unknown things ran through his head. What could be hiding here in the dark? He had told no one about his discovery behind the wall. What if he became trapped down here? He took a deep breath and rounded the corner, where he was met with a sight he'd never forget. A vast chamber opened up in front of him. It had been carved into the volcanic rock underneath his house like a subterranean hideaway. But what had been hidden here and who made it? He didn't have time to dwell on these questions for long. There was a stairway carved into the rock leading to more caverns. Just what had the man discovered beneath his home? He had a feeling that the secret entrances and tunnels went on for a long way. But who would have built such a thing? Were they catacombs? Were there still people living inside? With a chill running up his spine, he turned back. It was time to call the authorities. Experts at the Turkish Antiquities Authority were puzzled by the discovery. At first, they had no idea that one of the greatest archaeological finds ever had been hidden underneath someone's house. After some investigation and exploration, they revealed the mind-bending truth of the mysterious subterranean caverns, and their astonishing conclusion floored everyone. The authorities revealed that the underground caverns were actually part of a much larger network, and that, in fact, it was an underground city. Even more surprising, it was declared to be none other than the lost city of Derinkuyu. Experts had long believed that the underground city was the stuff of legend, much like Atlantis or El Dorado. Experts say that the construction of the underground city began as early as the 7th century BC by the Phrygians or Indo-Europeans. All the researchers were stunned to learn how deep the city actually went. The underground city is a marvel of engineering and is one of the largest ancient man-made underground sites in the world. The caverns are about 200 feet deep and extend 18 stories below the ground. Researchers estimated that the subterranean city could hold around 20,000 people and provide them with all basic amenities. There were large storehouses and even tombs found underground. But who were these people who chose to live so deep underground? And what were they hiding from? Researchers were baffled by the amazing find. They knew that the first inhabitants of this region had been an ancient Anatolian people called the Hittites. They had established an empire around 1600 BC and were later taken over by the Persian Empire. But could the Hittites have built this marvel underground, and why? The surrounding area, located high on the Anatolian plateau, is dry, arid, and home to at least 14 volcanoes. Could these volcanoes be the reason why an entire civilization decided to flee into the depths of the earth? Were they trying to escape? There's another reason why the underground city was built. Derinku was constructed during the Byzantine era and comprised both an above-ground city and an underground city. The Arab-Byzantine Wars, which lasted 400 years, had left destruction above ground, so the inhabitants of Derinku were forced underground during times of attack. The underground city served as a fortress, appearing completely abandoned from above. Archaeologists have uncovered over 100 secret entrances to the underground lair, each well hidden and accessible only to one person at a time. This design prevented an armed enemy from launching a successful attack on those hidden underground. Additionally, the underground city of Derinku was linked to other subterranean cities by tunnels. Around 200 other underground cities have been discovered in the area, providing multiple escape routes for Derinku's residents during a siege. However, not everyone is convinced by the researchers' findings. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that the ancient city was built to shield its inhabitants from alien invasions. Most experts, though, believe it was a fortress constructed to protect against warfare. As for the man who made this remarkable discovery, his identity remains unknown. It serves as a reminder that the darkness beneath our homes can hold unimaginable secrets. Thank you.